What's going on, man? This shit about Butler, man. This is the best day of my life. Tomorrow's not promised. Go ahead and do your little dance while they still playing your song. Today, man, we have a very disturbing story coming out of DeKalb County. My daughter actually went to Tony Elementary. If you're familiar with Keller Road, you're familiar with the East Side, EA, this will resonate with you, man. My grandson in the background. If I told you a Rolling Sixties Crip was teaching your child multiplication, would you believe me? If I told you that the same man once coached football, encouraged discipline, and stood in front of a classroom every morning, would you trust him? And if I told you that man would later be convicted in the 2016 killing of 2 children, would you mind? Would your mind even know where to place him? This is not a movie. This is not a rumor. This is a real case. This is the story of Michael Lewis. Let's dive. Let's dive. Let's dive. Let's dive.
Retaliation killing.
Tonight, one big question from parents. They all want to know how.
Go back. There you go.
One like that in our community, teaching our kids. You know, it's just sad. One like that in our community, teaching our kids. You know, it's just sad.
A local fifth grade teacher charged with the murder of 2 children.
Police say they were the wrong targets of a gang retaliation killing.
Tonight, one big question from parents. They all want to know how in the world he got a job with the school system in the first place.
The 26-year-old teacher was arrested at a DeKalb County elementary school on Friday. Fox 5's Marissa Mitchell joins us now. Marissa, you spoke with a lot of parents today.
Parents of current and former students at Tony Elementary. Now, the DeKalb School District insists it conducts thorough background checks on all of its employees. Administrators ran 2 of them last year on white. They tell me no criminal history turned up.
To hear something like that is really shocking.
It makes me paranoid as a human being, as a parent, and just as an adult that have a young boy growing up. It's kind of scary.
Kiana Wiley is a parent of a Tony Elementary student. She says she and her son, Markel, have been uneasy since word of Michael White's arrest Friday. He's a 5th grade teacher at the school.
I saw some cops going in there while we was walking in the morning.
Police say White is one of several people arrested in connection with a gang-related home invasion in Clayton County in 2016. 15-year-old Davion Coates and his sister, 11-year-old Tatiana Coates, were killed during the incident on Libby Lane. Investigators say the siblings were not the intended targets.
That sketch was created by witnesses. The similarities, it did play a very, very large part as far as us being able to tie him into the incident that took place with these 2 young children.
Parents and neighbors find the deaths and White's purported gang ties troubling.
What if something happened where they came
At
to
the
the
school?
school? There's a lot of school shootings going on. They could have came into the school, just any gang-related activity, and children could have been harmed.
Kind of hiding in plain sight. It's one of those things where this is our future, and it's heartbreaking to know that someone who is responsible for ensuring our futures could be involved with something like that. It's unimaginable.
Police say this case is not closed and more arrests are possible. Parents, they'll tell me they'll look out for any and all of those updates on the investigation. But there's something else they want the school district to do in light of it. I'll tell you what it is coming up on the News Edge at 11. Sine?
I'll say this: football saved a lot of boys, but it didn't save all of them forever. For Michael White, football wasn't just a game; it was sport. It was rules. It was a place where violence had boundaries. On the field, aggression was controlled. Off the field, it wasn't. Now, let's dive deeper off into this rolling
All right,
60.
thanks, Marissa.
Boom, boom, boom. The rolling 60 Crips are not just a game. They are a social structure, a survival network, a reputation that follows you wherever you want it, wherever you don't want it. For some men, the game never leaves you, even when you leave it. Michael White existed in two worlds: the world that demanded respect and the world that demanded responsibility. At Tony Elementary, Michael White wasn't a rolling 60. He was Mr. White. He taught children how to read, how to write, how to line up quietly. Parents trusted him. The system trusted him. And that trust, once broken, can never be repaired. The most dangerous thing about monsters is that they rarely look like monsters. Let's proceed.
11-year-old girl and her 15-year-old brother gunned down inside their Clayton County home. Davian and Tatiana Coates were innocent victims in what police are calling gang retaliation. Now, a shocking arrest. A year and a half after the crime, police arrested a DeKalb County teacher in connection to their murder. Fox 5's Portia Bruner joins us now with a closer look at the crime. Portia, this teacher, we understand, did not have a prior criminal history.
That's correct. I did check with DeKalb County school officials, and they said this man had not one but two background checks when he was hired in 2017 to be a fifth grade teacher, and each of those checks, his criminal record, everything came back clear. Take a look at the mugshot now. This is 26-year-old Michael Deshaun White. He is a fifth grade teacher at Tony Elementary School in DeKalb County, where authorities tell me he was escorted out of the class, not in handcuffs, on Friday by members of Clayton County's fugitive squad. He was then placed in the Clayton County jail, where he has been ever since. But I can tell you, this is a story, a case, a crime that really rocked this Clayton County community when it happened. Today I went back to the neighborhood and talked to some of the folks who were there at the time. They told me they were relieved to hear news of an arrest, but shocked to hear that a fifth grade teacher is among several people arrested in this case last week. Here's what a Clayton County police major told me about this case and what led to the arrest of that teacher a few minutes ago. What can you tell us about Michael Deshaun White? Is he a gang member?
That information we're still attempting to confirm. Mr. White does have an affiliation with the incident that took place, so we are still reviewing information to confirm. So.
What can you say about his connection to that crime scene? So many people thought that the folks involved in this crime were from out of town, but he was right here all along.
We do have witnesses, and we have been able to place him in the area. So that's something that we're going with at this time.
Talk to us about that sketch.
That sketch was created by witnesses. The similarities, it did play a very, very large part as far as us being able to tie him into the incident that took place with these two young children.
Major Daniel has said for a year and a half since this case has been under investigation that this was clearly a gang-related shooting. They told us back then when this happened in October 2016 that the intended target was a 15-year-old who was staying with the Coates family but was not at home at the time. 11-year-old Tatiana and her 15-year-old brother Davian Coates, just innocent victims of those people who broke into the home that night. And we're also told by the major that there could be some other arrests, that this case is not yet closed. Reporting live at Clayton County Police Headquarters, Portia Bruner, Fox 5 News.
Convicted in the gang murder of two children. Clayton County prosecutors are telling us how they used video and other evidence to win that conviction. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Whitney obtained some of that video.
Michael White, about 9 days before the murders on Libby Lane, inside of the Rolling 20 Crips headquarters in DeKalb County.
There were tears being shed when the first guilty was texted to us.
What we're looking at is Michael White right here in the middle with other gang members.
Michael White led a double life. Teacher of fifth grade children at Tony Elementary in DeKalb County and hardcore Rolling 20s Crips gang member. And that led him into a double murder of two children, 11-year-old Tatiana Coates and her 15-year-old brother Davian on Libby Lane in Jonesboro, October 22nd, 2000.
Bro, how do we vet the people around our children? How do we recognize unresolved identity conflict? Like, this guy had gone to college, no criminal background. He probably was a good teacher, you know what I mean? He in the hood giving back, but he with the shit. But how many warning signs do we ignore because a person looks right on paper? Because this story is not just about Michael White. It's about what happens when systems fail and when individuals refuse to confront who they really are. 2 lives were lost. And that must always be the center of this story, bro. We lost 2 children over some nonsense.
16, say Clayton County Deputy Chief Assistant District Attorney Lakarian Blunt.
He was kicking in doors at night and killing children and going and teaching children in the morning.
And Assistant DA Sheila Francois.
2 innocent lives were lost.
They had nothing to do with gang activity.
They had nothing to do with gang activity.
Prosecutors Blunt and Francois say Monday a Clayton County jury convicted White of 44 counts, including murder and gang charges.
Evidence suggested ultimately someone else was the triggerman.
Yes, 2 people.
But he's just as guilty under the law.
Just as guilty, party to a crime. Once he kicked in that door and ran in that house with a shotgun in his hand, he's guilty as every last other person in that house.
Ms. Blunt says Tatiana and Davion's mom had taken in another family out of the goodness of her heart, but a teen in the family she took in was a Rolling 20s Crip and had stolen guns from the gang's DeKalb County headquarters. And that's what brought White and other gang members to the house where the 2 children were shot to death.
All right, so what took place was the mother allowed somebody else to come live in the house. That individual was a Rolling 20s. And they stole firearms from the Rolling 60s warehouse in DeKalb County. So this was retaliation. It probably had orders to come from above. Hey, this is an unfortunate situation. But it coincides with my theory that gangs, black gangs, they only terrorize black people. They don't do nothing to nobody else. They just fuck us over, you know.
Prosecutor Blunt says she used videos and photos showing White with other gang members to establish White's gang membership for the jury along with a gang roster with White's handwritten name on it. And she and Ms. Francois used witness testimony and the resemblance between a sketch of one of the home invaders and White to put White in the house, though the defense disputed it.
We had 2 co-defendants come and testify.
His lead attorney, Bruce Harvey, said by phone Michael White had successfully embarked on his teaching career after playing college football. Harvey said this case is a tragedy in many respects, but at the trial the emotion of the situation outran the evidence the state presented. He said several witnesses testified to help themselves, and the defense team will continue to fight the sufficiency of the evidence and what he believes to be an unjustified conviction. Chris Sperry told us he's a prosecutor in Fulton County now, but handled the original Michael White indictment in Clayton County.
It may take several years, but if you are gangbanging in Georgia, the state of Georgia is going to hold you accountable.
Clayton County DA Tasha Mosley credits Clayton County Police with a great investigation, but says society is losing the gang war.
We've got to change as society and understand that the fight is not when they're in high school or heck, even in middle school. The fight begins the day that they're born.
Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.